Hey listeners, a quick heads up before we get started. This episode contains detailed discussion of real-life deaths by poisoning, including descriptions of physical symptoms, forensic analysis, and witness testimony related to a criminal trial. While there are no graphic sound effects, the content may be distressing to some, especially those sensitive to topics involving food safety, family trauma, or medical suffering. Listener discretion is advised. This story is presented for informational and storytelling purposes only, and we remind you, no claims are made as to guilt or innocence beyond what's been determined in a court of law. And finally, if someone invites you to lunch and says they've been experimenting with mushrooms, maybe ask a few follow-up questions first. Hey everyone, welcome to That's Peculiar. I'm Nathan.
I'm Andra.
And I have an episode today.
I was going to interrupt you and say, and Nathan has an episode today, but
I beat you to it. I thought I had a fun fact, and then it went away. I forgot it.
I think octopi have 3 hearts.
Oh, is that a thing?
Right.
I know cows have 4 stomachs.
They have 3 of something like that. I think they might have 3 hearts. So there's a possible fun fact. Mm-hmm.
So today is probably going to be a little bit shorter of an episode. My little brother is in town visiting.
Woo-hoo.
So that's why we have a shorter episode today. I gotta get out of here to entertain an 11-year-old.
And we just talked about it. We don't really hate the idea of mini episodes. So
no, sometimes all you got is like 20 minutes to half an hour. What's wrong with a short episode here and there?
Yeah, no, I think it's great.
Okay, all right. So they say the kitchen is the heart of the home, but what if it's also the scene of a crime?
Ew. Somebody dies in the kitchen?
So, I mean, on the surface, it does just look like lunch. So, on a warm Sunday afternoon, a modest home in the rolling hills of Leongatha, Victoria. I don't know if I'm saying that right. It's in Australia.
Uh-huh.
A family gathered around the table. Siblings, in-laws, parents. Stories were shared, pleasantries exchanged, and plates were filled with flaky golden pastry, tender beef, and a fragrant mushroom blend. Within a week, 3 of the 4 guests were dead. The hostess, she walked away, not unscathed, but alive, very alive. Her name was Erin Patterson, and while she claimed it was a horrible mistake, prosecutors painted a much darker picture. The lunch was a trap. That dish was laced with one of the most deadly substances on earth, and this was not an accident, but a recipe for murder.
White oleander?
No, it's a mushroom.
Oh. Oh, okay. Aromas of mushroom. White oleander is also super poisonous.
Yes, oleander is very poisonous, actually. And they're all over, like, the roads in California and the highway.
And for the record, don't kill anyone that way, because they made a movie about it, and it didn't end well for her. So
I can't. So Leongatha isn't the sort of place that you would expect to find murder on the menu. Located about 2 hours southeast of Melbourne, it's home to dairy farms, bakeries, and quiet main streets. It's the kind of town where people greet each other by name, and where drama, when it happens, usually involves footy scores or council budgets. So it's very small town life, kind of similar to where we grew up. Everybody knows everybody's, and so it's not like you know what's going on in town. It's not the place
that you think you would know somebody who tried to kill somebody.
Yes, and yet in where we grew up, people still try to kill people, and there are some shady stories.
Where we grew up?
Yeah.
Oh,
my dad... Sidebar, my dad worked at the coroner's office for a while.
Did anyone try to kill their family by feeding them poisonous mushrooms?
No, but he's definitely seen bodies that have been sitting out far too long.
Ew.
Anyway.
So fun to know.
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah, he's told me some stuff and I'm like, I don't want to...
No wonder you moved away.
I'm like, hold on. Our town's not that big. Why are we finding this many dead bodies like this?
Yeah, I know. I
Anyway,
mean, the lake. Ugh.
Anyway, okay. So, because it's such a small town, the events of July 29th, 2023 rocked the community to its core.
2023.
Yes, it's
So
very
this
recent.
just happened.
It just
Like
happened.
yesterday.
Pretty much.
And also, I remember that July because I was pregnant. It was fucking hot.
Well, but this is Australia also, so.
And also even worse, hot. It was like that was like the record heat wave year.
Oh yeah, it was really hot.
And I was pregnant until August.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
So at the center of the story is Erin Patterson, a 40-something woman known to many locals. She had 2 children, a background in writing and editing, and a complicated history with her ex-husband, Simon Patterson.
Okay.
Simon's parents, Dawn and Gail, were widely respected in the community. Dawn was a retired teacher, Gail active in church and community events. Gail's sister, Heather Wilkinson, and her husband, Ian, were similarly well known, especially Ian, who was actually a beloved Baptist pastor in nearby Corumbura.
Uh-huh.
Ugh,
That
ugh.
town.
Let's
The
try it.
town near this one.
Yeah. The lunch invitation, which was extended by Erin, was framed as a gesture of peace, a chance to heal old wounds, a final act of goodwill. She told guests that she had cancer, terminal cancer, in fact, and that she wanted to clear the air with her ex in laws and perhaps make amends before it was too late. It was only later that the police would allege that there was no cancer, there was no forgiveness, only poison.
Could you imagine hating your in laws so much that you're like not just gonna kill your husband, you're gonna possibly kill his whole family too?
I want to know just what in your brain has to snap or not be working properly that you feel like killing someone is the answer.
Yes. It goes so much further than that to me. Like,
I
how did you even concoct this plan? Like, you
and if
didn't think about the plan and think maybe not.
I'm gonna get away with this or I shouldn't do this. I don't that's my big thing is like where you thought, "Oh yeah, this will be fine. This will turn out fine. I got this."
No, I don't. And
It's
I can't fathom that it's like her old family.
her in-laws and it's 2023.
All right, tell us more.
So the deathcap mushroom, Amanita phalloides,
Huh?
correct me if I'm wrong. So
I
of
can't.
course I don't herbologists out there, please let us know. So the Amanita phalloides looks deceptively ordinary. Pale,
Okay.
cream colored, dome capped, it could easily be mistaken for the button mushroom in the right lighting. But no mistakes, it's one of the most lethal fungi on the planet. Just half of one of the mushrooms is enough to kill an adult. It contains amatoxins, which shut down the liver and kidney functions over the course of several agonizing days. There is no known antidote. So once symptoms appear, usually within 6 to 12 hours, it's already too late to reverse the damage.
Oh my god.
Uh-huh. And one of the most sinister parts of these mushrooms is when they're cooked, death caps don't smell bad or taste strange. So you could serve them in a 5-star restaurant and no one would know until they started dying.
That would be so scary, especially because it does, like you said, look like a button mushroom.
Yeah.
That
That's
would be terrifying.
that's one of the things that like a lot of people who forage for like mushrooms and things like that and they always tell you have to be so careful because I
Mhm.
know where we're from there's a turkey tail mushroom
Yeah.
which is actually pretty medicinal and used in a lot of medicines, but there's also one that looks the same as a turkey tail
Yeah.
but it is poisonous.
We also have a bunch of lion's mane over here.
I have not actually seen lion's mane.
Oh, it looks
It's creepy looking, but
It
it's good
looks
for
like
you.
shredded almost. It
It,
looks wild.
lion's mane is weird, but it's
Yeah.
also it's good for you.
Only problem I have with it is you cannot rinse it. It like soaks, it absorbs like anything that you put on it, like a sponge. So if you like try and rinse it, they become mushy.
Ew.
Yeah. So if you're gonna do
I
it, just like
hate
flavor it. Go into it.
I hate mushy mushrooms.
Yeah, so do I.
To understand what might have led to the fatal meal, we have to actually go back in time into the
Yes.
Patterson family dynamic.
Okay.
Erin and Simon had been married for over a decade, but they separated in 2020. COVID.
Over a decade.
Yeah,
It
COVID
still is
though.
crazy to me. Yeah, but she spent over 10 years of her life with these people she just tried to off. Keep going. I'm sorry.
This is about her and her husband.
Okay. Okay.
So Simon later told his friends that the marriage had ended. He told them that the marriage that had ended had been emotionally difficult. He said that it could be manipulative, often playing the victim, controlling social situation, and spinning narratives to suit her own perspective.
Boy.
So Erin, he said, would be manipulative and spinning things like
Spin it
plates.
all around.
Yep.
Yeah.
So after the separation, custody of their two children became a contentious issue. The kids
Right.
often stayed with Erin, but Simon's parents, Donna and Gail, were still closely involved. Perhaps too closely from Erin's point of view. Family friends also testified that Erin had previously accused Gail of undermining her as a mother, and there were reports of ongoing tension between her and the older Pattersons. So the
Right.
lunch may have been an attempt to rebuild, or as prosecutors argued, to remove the obstacles that she saw.
Right.
There was also the matter of Simon's own mysterious illness. In 2022, Simon was hospitalized with a serious gastrointestinal symptoms. He later told a friend that he thought he was going to die. He recovered, but the doctors couldn't identify the source of the illness. And when he was asked about that in court, Simon paused and he said, quote, "At the time, I didn't want to believe someone close to me could do that. Now, I'm not so sure."
Right. I mean, who would think, like, oh, my wife poisoned me?
Well, nobody wants to think that. Like, I wouldn't think that if I
Yeah.
was in a relationship with someone that wasn't going well or it ended or for whatever reason, they would try to poison me.
Yeah, I would hope I don't think that way as well.
Yeah. I don't think you'll have to, but even so, like, you still don't want to be like, oh, what
I
if?
just mean, like, if you're in that relationship that you get to that point and you're like, oh, this motherfucker could poison me, just
I mean,
like leave.
also, if I
Just
was gonna
leave.
do it, I would do it while we were still together, not separated. Fair warning. Fair warning.
Yeah.
I'm just
Sorry.
kidding. I'm not gonna kill anybody. I don't have that in me. There's too much guilt.
Right.
I have guilt if I don't even like wash my hands at a public restroom.
Yeah. I also think about somebody I was like mean to when I was like second grade and still
That
feel
part,
guilty.
like high school, I'll be sleeping at night and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember this one time, blah 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 blah, and I feel so bad about that. I wonder if they still
Yeah.
think
And I'm like, do they think about that? Or am I crazy?
Do they still think about that? Probably not, but I remember it.
Yeah.
So after the July 29th lunch, things moved quickly. This was the lunch that killed 3 people.
Yeah.
By
Oh,
Sunday,
actually killed 3 people. Whoa.
yes.
Okay, keep going.
By Sunday morning, all 4 guests were violently ill. They were admitted to the hospital and rapidly deteriorated. Within
Okay,
days,
so wait. 4 guests, so it was her, but the guests
she
were
was not a guest.
his parents.
Yes.
Yeah, no, but it was his parents, her ex-husband's parents, and his brother and his wife.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay, like the pastor and the wife.
Yes,
And
yes.
just to clarify, she is a teacher.
Was she a teacher?
It's her or the mother-in-law was a teacher, and I wasn't quite sure.
Someone was a teacher.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't remember who was the teacher. Someone was.
Okay, keep going.
So yeah, so you're right. It's mom, dad, pastor's wife.
Of ex-husband. Got it.
Yeah, an ex-husband was invited but did not go.
Great. He probably really would have died if he already had GI problems before this.
He's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Gail, Dawn, and Heather rapidly deteriorated, and within days they had passed away. Ian clung to life, and he eventually required a liver transplant.
And Ian is the brother pastor.
Ian is the pastor, yes. And yet
Okay.
Erin told the police that she was shocked. She gave them a statement, handwritten, stating, quote, "I am devastated to think these mushrooms may have contributed to their illness. I had no reason to hurt these people," end quote. But she was vague on some key points, like where did she get the mushrooms? She
Right.
wasn't sure. Did she eat the same food? She said yes, but her symptoms didn't match. Also, the next question is, why did she throw away her dehydrator? The one that you use when you forage, because she said she had foraged for these mushrooms. Why did she throw it
Right.
away? So she claimed that she was cleaning out old kitchen gear. Yeah. So, but the real turning point came when forensics found Deathcap residue in the discarded dehydrator and Erin's fingerprints on it. But I also have to say, like, if you did throw away your own dehydrator, of course they're going to find your fingerprints on it. That's not surprising to me.
And also if you ever used it. But
Yeah.
The thing is, if she really did forage these mushrooms.
Yeah, so she was known to
and
forage.
she was wrong. I don't know. I could see like
you think it might have been actually accidental?
No, because of all the other stuff, like her fake cancer.
The fake cancer, and then you threw away your dehydrator?
Even throwing away the dehydrator, I can see, because I'm a person that, I mean, I throw shit out all the time. I'll be like, I've only used this like a couple of times. It's trash now.
But if you were using it and you like foraged regularly, you wouldn't throw away a dehydrator.
I don't know what a dehydrator is used for in foraging. Anytime I forage something, it's like fresh and going into food. I've never dehydrated.
So, like dehydrating, you dehydrate like beef jerky?
No. I know that, but why would you forage and dehydrate mushrooms?
Because it's like the same with fruit. So like you'll dehydrate fruit, and then any vegetables, like you can dehydrate those and use them later.
Yeah. The only thing, I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate here, I don't think that I would ever forage enough mushrooms at a time to not just like put in a stew and have to use a dehydrator on them. Like I can't picture that for myself. So
like you would never actually like, I need to prepare these and get them ready to be used.
And get them dehydrated later. And then like I would just fucking cut them up and put them in. Like
I need these now.
So I understand like just getting rid of a dehydrator, but the rest of it is suspicious.
Hey everyone! A quick interruption before the show continues. This is Nathan, and I have a huge favor to ask. Please leave us a rating and a review if you are enjoying the show to help us reach more listeners like you. We love bringing this podcast to you every week and are trying to learn how to make it even more enjoyable for our listeners. Thank you for your support. Yeah. So the court psychologists were called in to assess Erin's state of mind. When testifying for the prosecution, described Erin as exhibiting narcissistic tendencies. Tendencies,
yeah.
A deep need for control, and a pattern of emotional manipulation and self-victimization, which her husband had also previously mentioned, who had said that previously.
So he was not wrong. He was like to the T by psychologists. Like,
he's
yes, those are all happening to you.
She's doing this stuff, and then the psychologist was like, yes, sir. She did do that.
That is true.
Another witness who was a friend of Erin's told the court, quote, "She always had to be the smartest person in the room. If she couldn't control the narrative, she'd burn the whole thing down," end quote.
Or poisoned it.
This friend had also joked months earlier with Erin about mushrooms being a good way to get rid of someone, and no one would know. Of course, at that time, it was dismissed as dark humor, but it kind of sounds like foreshadowing at this point.
I mean, I hope I'm not giving something away about my personality here, but I have joked about that.
I mean, wait, we have
Not
dark humor.
mushrooms.
No,
I've
but
never
other.
once thought mushrooms. I've thought other methods are a great way of getting rid of people.
Well, yeah, pigs.
So, like, I can only imagine having that conversation with, like, you, and then, like, turns out
That you
your
did
husband, like, died and you did use this method. I'd be like, ugh.
You
I
know,
wish I
actually,
wasn't a part of that conversation.
yeah, we did talk about that as being one possible way to get rid of someone.
Can
And
you imagine being that poor girl and being like, I just thought it was funny?
I thought we were joking. We were having glasses
Yeah.
of wine and she was making some dinner.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And then people will get that idea and be like, you know what? I'm going to use that.
Although it does sound like she kind of did already on her ex-husband.
Pretty sure that she probably tried to poison him previously, too.
Yeah.
So the courtroom was packed every day for the 9-week trial.
9 weeks.
9 weeks. That's actually how long I served jury duty that one time I did. So on the witness stand, Erin testified, but she did show little emotion. Her voice was soft, her tone was flat, and at times she wept. But mostly she just stared ahead and her expression unreadable. The prosecution laid out a chilling narrative that Erin had selected her victims. She used a fake cancer story to draw them in. She
Right.
served a different portion to herself and she got rid of the evidence, which is interesting because the one person that did survive recalled that her plate was a different color than the rest of the plates that she served their food on.
Like, they all had white plates and she had, like, a blue one. She's like, bitch, this one's mine. I can't even keep track.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, the fact that she couldn't just keep track and then
Yeah.
literally served it in a different dish.
So that's one of
And
the
she's
things.
like, oh, sorry. Well, sets do come in 4.
Stop. She's like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna use I'm gonna use a real plate. Everybody else gets paper.
Yeah, it's just so I do have sets of 4 and I do have, like, 2 sets of 4, but, like, the chances of me serving food and it not being like a 50-50 split is, like, dependent on how I wash dishes and how they're stacked.
Yeah, it's luck of the draw normally.
I could see it happening. I could also see it just being a coincidence. So I don't know.
So that was what the prosecution had laid out. The defense argued that Erin was naive and not malicious, and that she had no idea that the mushrooms were toxic, and she was being used as a scapegoat by the grief-stricken community. But the forensic evidence combined with Erin's own inconsistencies did paint a very damning picture.
Yeah, what about her fake cancer?
The fake cancer. She might
Like,
I could give her the fact that she might not have known that the mushrooms were poison. But you lose me.
Yeah.
You lose me when you decided to get rid of your dehydrator after 3 of the 4 people you invited to dinner are dead.
You lose me before that. Why invite people over to your fake cancer dinner?
Well, they thought she had cancer.
I get they did, but, like, she didn't. There's no evidence saying that she ever had cancer or even, like, a test that was, like, showing normalities.
Okay, that's the thing is, like, if I was so let's say now I'm devil's advocate. Let's say I just found out. I got off a phone call from my doctor and I said, I feel so guilty for all this stuff. I just got diagnosed with terminal cancer. Please come over. I want to talk about everything that I did to wrong you. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, but is there any evidence stating she ever had cancer or, like, had a phone call like that? Did any doctor say?
Would you?
Yeah.
If I called you and I said that to you, would you question me?
No, I wouldn't. I'm not questioning her inviting them over for terminal cancer dinner.
Gotcha.
I'm questioning the fact that there was never terminal cancer.
Oh,
That's what makes me think she's a murderer.
Yeah,
like,
the fact that
I could actually get behind the dehydrator.
What?
Yeah, I just told you. I'll get rid of my dehydrator.
But would you get rid of your dehydrator after the people that you invited to dinner started getting sick?
Hell yeah. If I accidentally fed them bad food and I was like, this thing's fucked, let's throw it away. Like, I almost died too. Yeah, I'd throw that shit away.
But she didn't have the same symptoms. Like, she wasn't sick at all.
Yeah,
You're
it's all of that stuff that's suspicious. Yeah. Yeah. She'd be like, I put those mushrooms in this dehydrator. Like, I don't know what that was, but like, let's get it out of here.
I can't have that in my house.
This is why I can't serve people bad food and why I won't forage for mushrooms. Because I would throw something like that and people would be like, that's
Murderer.
suspicious. And I'd be like, no, it made everyone sick. Why would I keep it?
Why would I have that still?
Yeah. Like, I almost died. I was sick too, and they did die.
You might have been, but I mean, she wasn't. Erin did not.
I
get
wouldn't
sick.
be in this situation. I won't forage mushrooms, you guys.
That's true. Thank you for that clarification.
You're welcome.
All right. On July 7th, 2025, the jury returned with the unanimous.
Yesterday?
Yeah, like just happened. And
so this 9-week trial has been going on since May, June, and this week?
Yes.
Well, okay, cool. What'd they deliver? Yesterday.
So yesterday, as of this recording, they found her guilty of 3 counts of murder and guilty of 1 count of attempted murder. So
and not her ex-husband.
Yeah, he wasn't there. So Erin now faces her ex-husband. The pastor is the only one that survived. So Erin now faces life in prison, and her defense team has stated their intentions are to appeal, but public support has dwindled. Even her own ex-husband Simon issued a brief statement, quote, "I mourn my parents. I mourn the loss of trust. I hope justice gives us some peace." End quote.
And what's crazy is his brother had to get, you said, a liver transfusion.
Transplant.
Didn't they have kids? So she just killed one of their mamas and killed their grandparents. You know why else I wouldn't be a murderer?
Please tell me why.
Think of all those people thinking terribly about me.
And you couldn't handle it?
I wouldn't like people being like,
nobody likes
those
me.
Little kids being like, that woman's a monster. I'd be like heartbroken over that. And then I wouldn't be able to like fight that. I'd be like, yes, I am a monster.
Nobody likes me.
Now those kiddos won't know their mom, their grandparents, and it's all one woman's fault.
Well, their kids are older, so like it's not. They did know their grandparents. Their lives did get cut shorter than they normally would have. Mm-hmm.
That's so sad.
Yeah. So
and she has babies, and she took away her babies knowing their mom, and took away them knowing half their grandparents. And that's just nuts.
That's why you couldn't kill anybody.
Well, there's many reasons, but that's like another one, you know?
Nobody would like me.
No. Yeah, exactly. I feel like I wouldn't like that.
But the guilt, I couldn't, like, even thinking about, like, I couldn't do it.
I'd turn myself in. I'd have so much guilt. I'd turn myself in.
You'd turn yourself in? That means that you think you'd be capable. I wouldn't even be capable.
Well, I just mean, like, if I ever did, my guilt would be so high that I'd have to turn myself in.
Even if, like, it accidentally happened, I'd be like, oh my god, I have no idea what happened. I would do the same thing.
Here's the dehumidifier that I think poisoned everyone. I think we're dealing with a car like Christine, but here you go. Here's everything I have.
Stop it.
That is nuts.
Okay. So, of course, as you probably noticed, that the case actually captivated all of Australia, and it became front page news and the subject of podcasts, documentaries, and endless debate. So headlines actually range from Deathcap dinner to murder on a plate to beef Wellington killer. That one's not that original. So social media lit up with theories, memes, and armchair detective work. TikTokers dissected... What?
Beef Wellington killer?
Yeah, she served beef Wellington.
That's just what the headline said?
That was the headline, yeah.
Can you imagine just like looking over and being like,
beef Wellington killer? Maybe that worked for them.
I think the beef is dead, right? That's what I would think. I'd be like, it's dead.
Did the cow already die?
Did they butcher the recipe? What happened? I'd read it.
Stop it. So it ended up TikTokers were dissecting her body language, and Redditors found her old recipe blogs. She had recipe blogs.
Mm.
So it was the perfect storm. Suburban mom, family drama, gourmet food, deadly poison, and a courtroom twist that felt ripped from the Netflix docuseries.
If you find her, will you send her to me? I'm just curious if I've ever made one of her recipes now.
I'll find one for you.
Yeah.
So the question is now, what's left behind? 3 innocent people are gone. A beloved pastor lives, but with trauma and a donor liver. Erin's children have lost both sets of grandparents and now essentially their mother because she's now in prison. And Leongatha has been changed forever. I really hope I'm saying that right, Leongatha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Leongatha. I don't know. The home where the lunch was served has been sold. Neighbors won't speak to reporters, and locals say the whole town feels like it's under a shadow. Even
Right.
foraging practices in Victoria have been affected, with new discussions on wild mushroom safety, labeling laws, and community education.
Exactly.
Which is interesting because, like, if she did actually serve them accidentally, that kind of stuff is very important. But foragers also, you take your life into your own hands a lot of the times because you really don't know. Mushrooms are especially
Yeah.
very difficult to figure out what they are.
That's why I'm saying, like, I can understand her accidentally doing this. I can understand her getting rid of the dehumidifier. It's
But
the fake cancer.
it's the fake cancer.
Her different colored bowl.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about
Which even
those-
that, in a certain coincidences, I could see because sets come in 4. Like, I could see that
it
she's like,
could,
those are my nicest 4. Let me have my crappy bowl.
sure, but it's too fishy. Like your fake
Yeah.
cancer.
Yeah.
You-
Yeah,
Why did
that's
could've
really
just
what
had
does it.
you could have just had overwhelming guilt about the past and then been like, "Hey, come on over."
Yeah. You
Anyway,
could have literally just said, I want to solve things.
yeah. So in the end, the story isn't just about mushrooms or even murder, it's about trust. The trust that we have in those who cook for us. The trust that we give family even when the waters are rough. And the quiet, terrible ways that the trust can be broken. Not with
Right.
shouting or guns or visible violence, but with a warm meal served on white china.
Oops.
What you think?
It was so good.
Oh,
I was captivated, and I
go for
also don't have TikTok, so I haven't been accidentally following this case. Like, I knew nothing of this.
I still
So
understand how you don't have TikTok. Like, I love it.
ain't nobody got time for that. I want to read books.
I got so much time for that.
I don't have, nobody wants to see me dancing
I'm not dancing.
yet.
Never.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Well,
I don't have an interesting job.
Do you have any final thoughts on this or what?
I would get rid of my dehumidifier
That
as well.
that's
I'd
your.
hand it over to the police, though.
Would you? Would you say this
If
is the dehumidifier that might have killed them?
Yeah, like, hey,
Because
I
what
think
she
I
did,
put bad
what she
mushrooms
did
in here.
was very much like I'm trying to hide something.
Yeah, like if 3 people almost died, I'd still go fish that out of the dumpster and like go give it to them.
Because you'd be concerned about their well-being and be like, if there's
Right.
anything on here that can help you, fix them.
And I'm so sorry I foraged bad mushrooms.
Yeah, but
Please don't
even
convict me.
even then, if you forage badge mushrooms, don't you still think that you'd have to pay the price of killing someone accidentally?
See, this is where it's so hard for my brain. Like, people get in car accidents and they get convicted of manslaughter and stuff. That is tough because accidents do happen, and there's a lot that goes into that. As long as you weren't drinking or under the influence, that stuff is hard. Same with like foraging mushrooms. If you have foraged a million times over and like you're serving what you think is a great meal, it's so hard for my brain because it's just like accidents do happen, but now
Yeah.
people are getting convicted of manslaughter for it, and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard.
Don't know what I agree with in that.
It's rough because you're like, I don't like. Yeah, I feel like you need it served. You did something wrong unintentionally, but also like
Yeah.
it was unintentional. Like, what's the line?
Yeah, that's where the line is like blurred. Like a person in an accident, if somebody pulls out in front of you,
and you're
what would you do?
responsible for them. Yeah, it's a really hard, and I think that's one of the hardest things when it comes to like being on trial or being in a jury is like what do you
Yeah,
I mean,
especially if you like did your whole life right. Like
yeah,
even
this is
if you didn't,
the
but
only
if you've
time that
like
you've made a
never been in
mistake like that.
trouble or anything, like
Yeah,
that's
rough.
yeah, but I also wouldn't be out here foraging mushrooms, so
Oh yeah, I'm
maybe
not
that could be manslaughter. I wouldn't feed it to anybody else unless you're 1,000% sure. So
yeah,
that one, yeah, I could get down with manslaughter.
okay, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, thank you for your input.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us today on That's Peculiar. If you have enjoyed this story, please make sure to follow and comment. And remember, maybe skip the mushroom dish unless you know what actually went into it.
1,000%. If you're going to forage mushrooms, just know what you're eating.
All right. And follow us wherever you listen to your podcasts. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on today's episode of That's Peculiar. Please make sure to leave a review and share with your friends so we can find more listeners like you. Tune in next week for a new episode of That's Peculiar.